So, this has been a long time coming, you know. I said I was going to put up a complete guide a while ago, and I just straight up never did. Let's kind of cut to the chase a little bit. Let's cut to the chase a little bit. So, as you know, today they dropped the fucking ranked game mode, but with it came a lot of changes. It's probably one of the biggest patches. I'm pretty sure like every character has been changed in some regard. And one that stuck out to me the most was this boy right here. I got a lot of good things to say, and I got some bad things to say. It's very few, though, so I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and simple. So, his optimal combo that you could do in base form, but way back when, well, I wouldn't exactly say way back when, yesterday, you were not able to do it in Awakening at all. So it just literally just looked like this. Just look something similar to that. Yeah, you can now do that in Awakening. Not only that, you can combo off his breaker now. I mean, the damage is lowered, obviously, to compensate for the fact that you could just kind of follow up with it. But that is absolutely huge. But also, here's another thing. You can safely pop high arrow after his heavy string, which all variations of it, as long as you did that little spiral, as long as you do that little spiral, you can safely pop high arrow. And by the time they get up, you're still gonna, I mean, you're gonna be in the animation a little bit, but there's gonna be no possible way for them to close the distance unless they do a flash step. But even still, you'll have enough time to react by the time they come in, so you'll be able to just easily tech it. But here's where things get a little bit interesting. So I'm gonna set the test dummy to repeated attacks. I need to time it right a little bit better. I'm fucking throwing. Ah! I'm throwing! Excuse me. His perfect flash step. Okay, just ignore me absolutely fucking throwing like a bot. In base form, you were able to combo off it. But as you know, you weren't able to do that in Awakening for the longest time. It would leave you wide open. I need to wait for it to. Check this out. You can now follow up with it in Awakening, which that is absolutely huge. But here's where things get really, really interesting. You can safely pop high arrow after heavy string in Awakening. Not only that, you can also link into SP2 now, which that opens up the possibilities for his optimal combos a little bit better to get burst damage. I am using Kenpachi right now as a test dummy, but that does not mean fucking squat. Because the fact that he's able to do this much damage against a beefy unit like this guy right here, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a game changer. I did notice that they did lower the damage on his attacks just a little bit. Like, this combo would have done at least like 4,500, so they did slightly change it. But if I were to go into Spirit Drive, the damage skyrockets. It goes from 4,000 to roughly, like, yeah, I'd say a little bit more than the same numbers he was doing before. His full combo string, if you just want to play like an absolute nut job, I mean, it's only going to do like 500 more damage, so it's really not that big of a difference. But the fact that you could just do shit like this, and he's almost there at danger health, which, I mean, it's going to be different for characters that have lower defense, so you'll be able to get them in danger quicker. but you do have to get in Spirit Drive. And that was a lot of good. That was a lot of good. You can combo into his Breaker. You can now perfect flash step follow up into his Awakening. You can now safely pop high arrow. You can now link his SP1 off of heavy strings. But notice my button inputs, how I'm mashing high arrow. Yeah, you can't pop high arrow anymore. But in base, I believe you can't do it either. Since it functions the same way. Yeah, you can't. By the time you finish with that animation, they'll be able to hit you. So yeah, I'm just go ahead and put him on repeat attacks. Just to yeah, like, yeah, you're not beating out that. You're not beating out that. I'm gonna just button mash. Yep, you can't. So his gameplay is a little bit more streamlined. It's a lot more smoother now, which I will say that's a big change. Very much needed change. And I was saying it for the longest that I was just under the assumption he did so much damage that in Awakening you couldn't follow up after a perfect flash step. But oh boy, I was wrong. I was wrong. There are a lot of times where I'm wrong, but when it comes to Nnoitra, there are very few times. But that was actually one of the few times I was actually very wrong. I will say this though. I believe his dash light functions roughly the same. I'm gonna just create a little bit of distance between us. So yeah, no, it functions just the same as it does in base form now. So instead of them getting pulled towards you, they kind of slide off the ground to where they're always in light attack range. Which is pretty good. I think that was much needed because there were certain instances where his dash light, it would always pull your opponent just out of reach if you were like right at the tip of it. But now it's always like situations like that. No, they still did not fix that. I was wrong. I was wrong. But in base form, you will never have that problem because by the time you're finished with the animation, you will always be. But in transformation, you will not. Okay, so we covered a lot of the good. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the nitty gritty a little bit. So I'm gonna put myself at 3 Kampaku so I grow my arms. Notice this. No, you saw my inputs? Yeah, you can no longer reverse chain after fully charged SP1, which means his touch of death is gone. Yeah, he can no longer touch a death. I mean, to compensate, his damage is a lot more consistent now instead of just relying off of big fucking buttons and just slow attacks and big windups. It is good. It's good. I will continue this later, but for now, I do gotta pick up some things. Yeah. Hope you all enjoyed. Honestly, hope you all enjoyed. For now, just gonna try to work on this a little bit.